All right, man. We are back. Episode 3 already, man. This is wild. I think I said this last episode. It's gonna be crazy to see the episodes kind of pile on each other because I feel like, dag, we on 3. Next thing I know, we're gonna be on 10. And so you already know who it is, man. It's your boy behind the mic. See, with the intros, man, I'm just keeping it raw, like, cause I can't do the whole, yo, it's your boy, yeah, we back with it, like, I can't do that shit. But yeah, so welcome back to the Build with Attention podcast, man. The man behind the mic is Randy Finn. That is me. I am your host. Yeah. I'm super excited for this episode, man. So you already know how we do it here. We're about to hop straight into it. So today's topic is discipline and focus. Yep. I mean, you see the title, discipline and focus is how you achieve. So we're going to break that down because I don't really believe in like giving like surface level, bullshit. Like I'm not going to be like, hey man, discipline, do it. Or, hey, you should be more focused. You should be more disciplined. Like, no, let's go a few layers deep on, on everything. So, first off, what is discipline? So I'm gonna do these one at a time. So discipline and focus, they're kind of they're part of the same pie, but we're gonna slice it into two different slices. And you can eat one at a time. Sorry, I be dragging analogies into the ground, but I can geek out about analogies like all day. It's kind of OD. So discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is the ability to do what you have to do when you have to do it, whether you like it or not. Okay. Here's a simple example. You could say most people are disciplined every day because they show up at their jobs, right? So we're disciplined at showing up at our jobs. I mean, people, we have to show up at our jobs because if not, we don't have a job, right? So, take that concept. We as men need to take that concept, the same discipline we do to show up at our jobs, and we need to apply it to every aspect of our life. Because, man, a lot of us we're just not disciplined. We're not disciplined when it comes to treating our bodies well. A lot of us aren't disciplined when it comes to finances. A lot of us definitely aren't sexually disciplined, and I can go on and on and on. And that's why women are out here calling us weak. Because, I mean, this is just a general statement. Like, dude, we kind of are. You know what I mean? Like we can't control ourselves. And so this is speaking from a sexual discipline point, because I would argue sexual discipline is the key to a lot of that's like our main shit that we have to master as men. And when I speak to women and hear different interactions that we as men have with, or that y'all be having with women, some of the shit I hear is just like, bro, it's unbelievable. And I'm not perfect. I made my mistakes with women, and I've struggled with discipline for sure. I've grown from it, and we definitely going to talk about some of my experiences as well. You know what I mean? And anyone can grow. So hey, shout out to all the girls listening to the pod right now, man. I appreciate you guys. Definitely want to give you guys a shout out. So discipline. I'm gonna give you guys action steps on how to be disciplined, but I want you to imagine being essentially an immovable object, right? Meaning like nothing can phase you, nothing can get you off center. It doesn't matter who's around you, nothing can break your focus. One thing I kind of struggled with, this might be slightly moving away from chatting about discipline per se, but perhaps not. But I think it was a point where I was trying to help and please everyone, like with my time, like to the point where I just wasn't getting things done that I wanted to get done. And it was kind of pushing into so I would always tell myself like, yeah, man, like you can go kick it here for a few to get everything you need to get done right after, you know what I mean? Then I end up wasting a day, wasting the evening, not getting shit done. And then it piles into the next day, maybe even the next week sometimes. Like, man, I'm low-key getting irritated talking about it right now. But yeah, discipline. I'm gonna give you guys action steps in order to build the discipline. But if you don't have that discipline, you're kind of walking around like a headless chicken almost, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's a weird thing. Like people can kind of tell when you're not disciplined, you know what I mean? It's like if you're showing up places on time, it's just kind of like it makes you almost like less attractive as a man, right? If you're not disciplined. So I'm gonna give you guys some action steps to get more disciplined. But let's move on to the next topic, right? So there's a perfect segue into the next topic, which is focus. Everybody say focus. I feel like I'm a teacher or some shit like that. So Focus. The reason why I kind of paired these two words together is because I see it as kind of like a two-step process. Once you develop that discipline, I'm going to give you more actions to, how can I say it? I'm only doing one take. Well, I got to say this, man. Like I'm getting used to like speaking to like, because I'm trying to, so I have a script, like full transparency. I have like a script, but I'm not like reading it word for word. It's just more so giving me like an outline of what I want to say. And then I tend to ramble. I'm getting used to doing this shit and also talking behind the mic. So I don't mind being transparent. The only thing I care about is getting my point across. So it's like a two-step process. So once you develop that discipline, I'm going to give you action steps to be more disciplined. Because we're not here to just babble and more focused. I already said that about discipline and to be more focused. I'm not here to just run my mouth and shit like that. Like I'm here to like help you make a fucking difference in your life. So focus is simply the ability to hone in on one specific thing without any distractions. Very, very simple. I want to simplify things here. I don't want to complicate things. That's one thing I see like just online in any field or anything like that. I feel like people tend to overcomplicate things. But focus is simply the ability to hone in on one specific thing without any distractions. Very, very simple. Okay, so let me tell you why you need to master the ability to focus, right? Let's draw a scenario. Let's say we have two guys. We got Matty and we got Tux. Yo, shout out to my boy Matty Ice, man. Shout out to my boy Tux, man. TYS. That's an insider for them. Nah, those my guys, though. But if Matty and Tux, right, they're both... If Matty and Tux, right, they're both trying to learn the skill of, let's say, playing guitar, for instance, right? Matty practices for 1 hour every day after work, right, over the course of a month. Tux practices whenever he's in the mood or the motivation. Ooh, he's okay. Good job, Randy. He practices whenever he gets in the mood or whenever he has the motivation to do it. So, sidebar, let's have a quick chat about probably this might low-key be my least favorite word in the human language, the word motivation. I also have a follow-up word that I want to discuss too that's very dangerous. Motivation, so I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. I'm going to just keep it tall with y'all. Motivation is not, it doesn't really exist. Like, it's not real. It's made up. It's not a real thing, right? So, motivation is simply an emotion that comes and goes just like any other emotion. And if you rely on it, that kind of tells me something. It tells me when it's cold outside. So you know how it's starting to get warmer outside, right? More people are going to be outside because, people don't like being in the cold, which is fine. I mean, I hate the cold personally, but I don't give a fuck if it's hailing outside. That's not going to prevent me from going to run on the stairs, going to run my miles, because you can't, that's not how I like living my life. Like, I like, no matter if it's cold as hell, I'm still gonna get this work in. You see what I'm saying? Like that shit doesn't determine my how I move. You feel what I'm saying? Obviously, if it's fucking like thunderstorming, I'm not gonna go run or some shit like that. But that tells me that you're not willing to go and run out and because there's a slight inconvenience because it's cold outside. Like, bro, you're a man. Like, you can't let that shit determine your essentially how you move and stuff. Because here's the thing, man. I feel like every day personally, we got to get after it, bro. Tomorrow's not even promised. Tomorrow's not real, if I'm being honest with you. I'm gonna go over that in a different episode. But tomorrow's not real either. You ever hear someone say, "Man, I'm not motivated to do that"? I'm like, dude, this is the perfect time for you to do it because we got to realize something. So I've said this in a previous episode, so I'm gonna say it real quick. When you tell yourself you're going to do something and you break that promise with yourself, you start trusting yourself less. We got to realize this, like our body, our mind, our subconscious, our fucking soul, we start trusting ourselves less. You see what I'm saying? Like, you telling yourself you're going to do some shit is just you giving yourself that dopamine feeling, meaning you just looking for a good feeling. You're not really going to do it. You know what I mean? And the more you bank those moments of like, hey, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, the harder it is to actually do something that you want to do. Right? Let me get back on track, man. like I said, I tend to ramble, but yeah, fuck motivation. The other word I wanted to discuss with you is it's also a very dangerous word, right? Very, very dangerous word. I got this sentiment from my coach, Coach Sterling. And man, yo, big shout out to Coach Sterling, man. Amazing man. He's been like an amazing mentor to me. Damn near a father. No, a father figure like person, but also like a best friend, man. Like I love my relationship with Coach Sterling. Coach Sterling, man, I love you, man. Wanted to give you your flowers. But I'm gonna paraphrase a point that he made to a group. I'm pretty sure he's gonna remember this, but maybe not. But essentially, he said potential is it's good that you have potential, right? But it's also very dangerous because really think about it. What does potential really mean? Like let's take a second to think about it because I think everybody has the potential to make $1 million, right? But if you never capitalize on your potential, it's almost like the shit doesn't exist. You know, like it's potential is such a it's an interesting concept, right? Does that make sense? So when someone tells you like, man, you got potential to do this, I think people tend to like confuse the fact that someone said they got potential with them actually going and achieving that thing. You know what I mean? Like you can have all the potential in the world, but the more days go by, the more weeks go by, the more months go by, the shit just starts to slip away. You know what I mean? Then it's like you miss that window. Potential energy, you gotta think of potential energy as like it runs out. You got think of it like that. But it's such a dangerous word. So not a fan of that word either. So when someone tells you have potential, that should make you feel good, yeah. But it should also give you like a nice boost. It should be more of like a motivating thing for you to continue to chase it because someone sees something in you like, man, you can go and do that. Like, oh, word. Like, I know I could do it, but you just gave me like an extra boost, right? But it means nothing if you don't follow it up with action, which is a sentiment I articulated in a previous episode. Now raise your hand if you heard the last episode. Okay, what was the title? I'm fucking with you. All right. All right. Damn, dude, I'll be ranting, but that's okay, man. The passion just comes out. The passion just comes out, man. So we're going to actually, let's do a quick recap. So we need to master discipline and master focus. And I just realized that I cannot move to the fitness corner because I promised I was going to give you guys some actionable steps to build discipline and focus. So let's get into that. So in order to build discipline, you can start small. You don't got to start off with anything super, super extreme when you start like, waking up at 3 a.m. or something crazy like that. You got to think of discipline as a muscle. If you want it to grow, you just got to train it. You start small when you train. Like when you go into the gym, you don't just bench 225 when you lay down on the bench press. You got to start at, maybe half of your body weight or you know what I mean? Like you got to build, right? So here's a quick and easy step for you to create discipline in your life. You can set 3 small tasks to do every day. It can even be one task. Like you can start small. 3 is just good because you can apply them to different areas. So it can be like making your bed, drinking a certain amount of water, reading for 10 minutes every day. See, that's perfect. That's a perfect 3 to start. You could drink more water. Like let's say if you want to know how much water you need to drink, take your body weight times it by 0.6. You can drink that much amount of water every day, right? You can start with those 3 simple things. And here's the thing, it compounds over the course of time. It compounds over the course of a weeks, and then weeks turn into months. Months turn into more months, you know what I mean? So it all compounds, and the next thing you know, you're just doing it. Like you're just doing it. Like it's not even something that you got to remind yourself to do anymore. You're literally just doing it, right? So, all right. Let me see if that was all I wanted to go over. So, by the way, because I wanted to add on about how things compound, if you train and do the right things for 3 months, dude, I'm not kidding you, your body can literally look different in the span of just 3 months. But some other tricks you can do to build a small routine. I mean, you can follow a nighttime routine, morning routine. You could track your progress. Like I said, you can have a meeting with yourself. Maybe like once every Sunday, you have like a meeting with yourself. And you can kind of like, because building habits and discipline is like, it's not easy. You got to break old habits and you got to create new ones. So what you can do is you can I have like a little habit tracker, and whenever it pops up, I click on it, and if I did it, I check it off, and then at the end of the month, it'll give me a percentage of like, hey, you drink a gallon of water 94% of the time this month. Like, damn, like, why was it 100? Like, maybe I was chilling on the weekends. But let's say you're trying to make your bed, right, every day during the week. Let's say you only made it 3 days out of the week, right? And you're trying to figure out what happened those other 4 days. So then you analyze, like, damn, like, did I not go to bed on time, so I had to wake up and run? Was I just being lazy? Did I just wake up and check my phone? I look at the clock, then I had to go. Like, you can analyze it, and then you can adapt from that point, right? And you just build. That's what it's about, bro. It's about build. Here's the thing: when people realize, like when I train people and stuff like that, they think that they gotta be perfect at the beginning. Like, nah, bro. The first 4 weeks, we need to essentially build new habits for you. You know what I mean? Like, we need to build new habits for you, so we can just build from that point on, right? Okay. So if you need any more advice on that, you can drop me a DM on IG, Dekufin, DEKUFINN, Dekufin. No underscores, one word. If you wonder if that's Deku from My Hero Academia, you are correct. All right, so this is the part of the show called a Fitness Corner, and this is basically where we are going to go over some fitness tips, advice, any type of things in order to achieve a lean physique, right? So today we're going to talk about how to prep for summer. So, it's March. Summer is pretty much, 90 days from summer starts like March 22nd or something crazy like that. So we almost there, right? So you can go into the summer down 10 to 20 pounds if you listen to what the hell I'm about to say right now. So obviously, if you want to talk about your fitness goals, just drop me a DM. So in order to lose 10 to 20 pounds before summer, this is so possible. Like, you're closer than you think. I want you guys to think that you're actually a lot closer than you think. Okay, so in order to lose 10 to 20 pounds, obviously you got to start exercising. What I recommend is, if everybody's at different points in their fitness journeys and in their bodies, but if you at a point where you need to lose 10 to 20 pounds, I'm just going to assume that you're slightly overweight and you want to shred those pounds. I would say start off with like 30 minutes of cardio every day, or you can get your steps in, 10,000 steps, but the main thing is going to be your diet, but I'll get to that in a second. So 30 minutes of cardio. You can slowly introduce weightlifting, maybe go to weightlifting. I'm going to go under the assumption you're a beginner. You can go to the weight room 3 days a week, train two muscles each day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, do back and biceps. Wednesday, do shoulders and chest. Friday, do legs and triceps, whatever the case is. But the main thing is going to be your diet and your step count and drinking enough water, right? But that's a basic way to start exercising, okay? So your diet, right? Very, very simple. You were probably eating too much. Because people think the thing about, so losing weight is very simple, but it is about the calories. So just because you eat like less calories, that doesn't mean that you're giving your body the proper nutrients that it needs. So you want to eat the right things, and then you also want to eat a little bit less. You want to be in a calorie deficit, right? That's how you're gonna burn off that weight, okay? So, should I hit the mic? I think we good now though. So you're going to stop eating crap. You're going to go and grab some Whole Foods. You're just going to grab some chickens. You got chicken, you got steaks, like Whole Foods. Whole Foods are essentially, think of Whole Foods as like ingredients, foods that have like one simple ingredient. So chicken, that's one ingredient. Pair that with some rice, some broccoli, like pasta, like eat very simply. So hold on, this shit's not going to be fun. I need y'all to understand that. If you really want your body, see, we live in a world where everything is so like instant gratification, to the point where if some shit ain't dressed up in a way that makes it fun and shit like that, people are not going to do it. I hate to tell you, some of this shit is not going to be fun. Like, genuinely. It's going to be fun when you start seeing results. And you don't have to necessarily make your meals boring. But I'm saying the process of all this shit is not necessarily going to be fun. I digress. So yeah, keep this shit super simple. You can eat twice a day, or if you like eating 3 times a day, you just need to eat the right shit. Okay, something for breakfast, dude. If you want a list of food, if you want me to make like a meal plan for you, just hit me up on IG, Dekufin, DEKUFINN. Okay, another thing too is sleep/recovery, but we need to be sleeping for 7 to 9 hours every day, no exceptions. Yes, this includes the weekend. I might low key make a just an episode on this alone, but sleep is essentially a steroid for your body. It really is, and it's actually amazing to me how terrible, generally speaking, everybody sleeps. Like it's actually very interesting. But if you get enough sleep, literally the amount of sleep you get affects your body's ability to lose weight. Because I need y'all to understand something. When you go to the gym, when you eat the food and stuff like that, that's great for your body. But you're going to get results so much slower if you're sleeping for like 4 hours a week. I mean, sorry, that would be horrible if you sleep for 4 hours a week. If you're sleeping for 4 hours a night, that would be terrible. You would probably die if you sleep. So look, what you need to do is, that's why I say, people will be like, man, what's more important? Like, do I go 50 here? Do I go 50-50 with my training and nutrition? No, you do 100 in every part of it. Okay? You do 100 in every single part of it. So you need to make sure your training is dialed in. You need to make sure you're eating the right things. And you need to make sure you're recovering, because your body makes those adaptations. Like, if I'm trying to get stronger, let's move away from weightlifting for a second. If I want the adaptations to get stronger, it all happens when I'm asleep. That's when your body essentially does maintenance on itself, right? I need everybody to understand this, man. So you need to be training, eating the right things, and sleeping. If you need any help, just drop me a DM. Drop me a DM, and I would definitely help you with this. Okay, so that is a wrap for my 3rd episode. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, my goal is to get better with this. Right now, I'm just trying to get all my I'm the type of guy. I'm not really worried about being perfect with the shit. Like, I'm gonna just go. Right, you ever heard the phrase "jump out the plane, learn how to fly on the way down"? That's the type of time I'll be on. So I definitely will probably get better at this shit. But I just really wanted to, start dropping episodes and stuff like that, because I'm super excited about the pod. I got so many episodes. I got like a 100 episode list or whatever that I want to make. So yeah, man. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in so much. If you have any feedback, you can drop me a DM on Instagram. I'll pretty much appreciate any feedback. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, let's have a respectful conversation. If you have any feedback, how it can be better, you can tell me how much you loved it. If you hated it, any type of feedback, I love it. Like I said, I do want to transition to video soon, and I do plan on doing that. But maybe my first 5 to 10 episodes would just be audio, which I'm not too worried about. But yeah, super excited, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time. Drink water. Peace.